Hi, I'm Erik Linask, and I'm talking today with Jeff Whatcott, who is the SVP of Marketing at Brightcove. Jeff, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So, how about getting us started? Give me the latest from Brightcove.
Sure. So we just released Brightcove 4 in November, and it's gone amazingly well. We've got a lot of interest around the world from both our existing customers and from new customers. We added a new product called Brightcove Express that allows people to use Brightcove for just $99 a month, and that's been just a runaway hit. It's been amazing to see how much interest there's been in that. And then our high-end customers in the media industry are also getting really excited about the monetization features that we put in. So it's really cool.
Now, a lot of the folks that I've talked to lately, I guess, in the past 6 to 12 months, said that mobile and video are the two things that people ought to be doing, and if they're not, they're falling behind. So I guess for the people who are doing mobile and video, they're really on top of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, mobile's a huge change in the way computing happens. I mean, what our CEO, Jeremy Allaire, often says is that his iPhone is the first true personal computer. And I really believe that because it's a computer you can carry with you everywhere. You can experience all your applications, all your entertainment right there in the palm of your hand, and people want to do that. And so with Brightcove 4, this recent release, we've tried to really start to address that in a more significant way than we have in the past. So we introduced what's called a Brightcove iPhone SDK. A lot of people want to be able to create persistent applications that you can install right out of the iTunes App Store on the phone to actually experience content. And our customers have been asking us for better and easier ways of doing that, and now they're starting to be able to do it with the Brightcove SDK. And it's really great to be able to do that because now they can actually create playlists, the same type of playlists and content that they're streaming to the desktop, they can deliver that to any iPhone user. And with Android coming on from Google, that's really exciting as well. The whole generation of smartphones coming from RIM. This next generation of phones has incredible capabilities, and it's really, really exciting. And another thing that's going on, I think, in that area that's that's really amazing is what Adobe's doing. So, you know, people have been using Flash on the desktop for years and years, but you haven't been able to really use Flash in its full form on the mobile devices, right? And so what people are starting to do now, or what Adobe's done now, is they're actually bringing the full Flash capability to these next generation of smartphones. So we're actually working really closely with Adobe to make it so that any website that currently has the Brightcove player on it can actually render in a browser on a mobile device with all the Flash video right there without having to change anything. And that's a big change because right now if you're browsing the web, you come across Flash content on a lot of these devices. It just is a black box. You don't see anything, right? And so that is a big, I think, leap forward for what's going on in mobile video.
What's driving some of this innovation? Is it demand on the user side, or is it the content providers, application developers, and network operators trying to push the content to the audience?
I think it's really both. I think that the users want more and more types of content on the phones. They're spending more and more time looking at content on the phone because the browsing experience is now actually reasonable. It used to be that mobile web browsing was slow, you couldn't see the content, it just wasn't a great experience. But now it's getting good enough. The screen resolutions are there, the networks are fast enough that people can actually spend time. And my kids will sit there with their phones and actually watch movies, you know, on the couch, which is amazing to me. I mean, not something I would do necessarily, maybe on an airplane, but they're doing that. And so from the content provider side, they want to have their content be wherever the audience is. And things like the iPhone, and then Android has its own application strategy as well, are giving them new opportunities. So when you have a website out on the web, people have to, you know, remember the bookmark and go back to it and actually remember to go there. Whereas if you can have an installable application, you've actually got a window into that consumer's life that's there the whole time, and it's always reminding them that, hey, I need to go back to ESPN, or I need to go back to, you know, Discovery or A&E, and this is a new type of deeper relationship that they can have with the consumer directly, and I think that's really compelling for the content providers. That's driving them to invest.
Now, what about taking that relationship, that interaction between the device, between the content and the user, and extending that to multiple devices, the mobile device and devices in the home?
Well, you know, we call that a three-screen strategy. And a three-screen strategy means having your content be able to deliver on the desktop, on mobile devices of various kinds, including smartphones we just talked about, and then in the living room. And there's some really interesting work going there, too. we've been working closely with companies like Voodoo and Boxy, which are providing these kind of next generation devices to allow people to browse content off of the web, coming in over the internet connection in their house, but connected to a TV, and navigate that in kind of like a TV-like experience. And that's allowing content producers to actually be able to deliver content directly into the living room. So we've worked with Boxy, for example, and Condé Nast, which is one of our customers. They have like Wired Magazine and others. And they've been able to create a Boxy channel using their Brightcove content that actually allows people who are using Boxy to actually subscribe to it, just like an RSS feed kind of for news readers, but it's on your TV. And so whenever there's new content there, you can go and sit down and kind of snack on content. And that enables not only the viewing of longer form content, shows, movies and stuff, but just kind of that kind of YouTube experience, but on your TV where you can sit down and just see a few clips of interesting topics that you're interested in. It's a new type of entertainment experience, and it's made possible by the fact that video that previously was only available on the desktop, in the web browser, is now directly on your TV. And there's a lot of cool stuff going on. I think at the CES show coming up next year, just next month really, we're going to see some more interesting things going on there. It's pretty cool.
What's the user understanding or acceptance of this three screens philosophy like?
Well, I think that the mobile devices and the desktop is pretty much covered. It's pretty much clear to people now that, everybody I see around is getting, these next generation smartphones. They're video enabled. They're watching video on them. That's kind of reaching that critical mass stage. Desktop reached critical mass obviously a long time ago. I think the living room stuff is just on the initial stages. Mm-hmm. I don't think that Boxy or Voodoo or any of the other internet connected devices have yet really hit critical mass. But among critical early adopter audiences, it's getting really interesting. I increasingly hear about people that are cutting the cable and delivering viewing all their content through these type of devices and this type of experience. So it's starting to happen among early audiences, but it's not yet critical mass. But who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Sure will. Be exciting to watch.
Absolutely.
I've been talking here with Brightcove's Jeff Whatcott. Jeff, thanks again for joining me.
Thank you.